Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hyde from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. It's Friday, yay! So I'm going to be doing some general channeling for the collective, as usual, under what they want to talk about today. And also giving mini reads as well. So if you're interested in the mini read, then all you need to do is check the pinned comment, the comment that's pinned up top of the live chat. That tells you how to do it. There's a PayPal link in there for donations. You can also use Super Chat or Super Sticker if that's easier for you here on YouTube. If you've got a question for your higher self, put a capital Q at the start of your question once you've donated. At the start of your comment once you've donated, so that I can find it easily amongst the comments. So let's get some cards out. Hi, Maria. So I got out of my quarantine yesterday. Trained twice. It's good to get out again. Did a bit of shopping. Got myself some vegetables again. Some tourists here, which was nice to see. Hey, Connie. Oh, we always get this card. This card keeps on coming out lately. I don't know why. It's boring. It's about maturity, coming of age, maturing in some kind of a way. But then we do get the mischief card out a lot as well, which isn't that. Well, it's just about having some fun, hey? Coming of age. And play. Good. Bit of balance there. Not mischief, but play. Why? Why do we have to be mature? I don't want to be mature. I don't want to adult today. Hi, Mandy. Anyone else want to adult today? I don't. Let's get some tarot out then. Starting with these. We'll start with these today. My wrist is playing up from going training again. Bothering me, this wrist. Thanks, Maria. What do the guides want us to know today? Ooh, the Fool. Start of a new journey, a risk to be taken. The Fool card is the number 0 card from the tarot. It's the start of the journey. The hero's tale. When we venture out on a new journey, on a new adventure. I like it. A whole new adventure, huh? Tell us about that. Five of Wands. Being strategic. The five of Wands card is the practice card. It's the training card. We've been learning things. Oh, this is why the coming of age. That could be the coming of age thing. So we've been learning things so that we can be strategic now. We can make better decisions because of what we know already. So all of the training that we've been doing, all of the learning that we've been doing means that now, this new journey that we're setting out on, we can make better decisions on it. So it feels like chapters of past have prepared us for this point, given us all the lessons so that it's go time now, this new adventure, we can do a better job at it. Not like this is definitively different than all other adventures that we've been on in our lives, because it's always true, right? If we're learning, it's always true. If we're not learning, we get into another adventure and we do the same thing again because we've not learned. Or we just open, like way too open, and just, rather than being strategic, making good decisions for ourselves, we're just open and we'll say yes to everything that's in front of us. That's not ideal either. So, have we learned? Have we learned what we need to learn so that we do it differently this time on this new adventure that's starting? Seven of Pentacles. It would seem so, because Seven of Pentacles is all about preparing the environment, ready for our harvest. It's about being more strategic. It's about being in it for the long term and doing those things that are going to get you the results. This is about it's not about winging it. It's not about chancing it, saying yes to everything. It's about planting those seeds and then nurturing them and doing what you need, watering it and tending to it and fertilizer and all kinds of things like that. It's strategy. And then she's got the apple at the end of it as well. It's like, wow, you got so lucky to get an apple. How did you just chance upon an apple? She said, I didn't. I've been tending to this tree a long time. I planted it ages ago. I've been raking. There's a rake there. I've been raking all the leaves from below it, taking away the rotten fruit. I've been tending to it. I've been making sure it's watered. It's got flowers all over it, and she's got the apple at the end of it. She's been smart. The moon. Yeah, there are some things that are unknown. Of course, any new adventure is going to stretch us. It's going to give us new lessons. There are some things that are unknown. It's not like, okay, I've mastered this now. Well, we can master ourselves, can't we? We can master ourselves so that we can go into these new challenges, these new unknowns, and do our best. I mean, make better choices, less likely to mess up because of what we've been through before, because of similar situations. Once we like things like, if you've been learning about self-love, you've been learning about empowerment, then you've got that training. Even if something new comes along, you're more likely to do the best thing for you, aren't you? Still unknowns though. There are still unknowns. A fox is there. Needing to think on your feet. Use what you've learned and think on your feet. Cunning, strategic. Got strategy 3 times now from this. And planning. Wow, how very adulty. And planning. Yeah, I'm planning. Wow. It's very adulty. Starting out with a Fool, which isn't that an adulty kind of card, not at all. It's one of the young cards of the decks, but all of these very adulty. Okay. Maria. Anyone else want a mini read? It was quiet today. Oh, it's quiet in here today. Morning, Carrie. Maria, high self-guidance. I'm good enough. Get what I want. There's a feeling here of a feeling like you have to do things that you don't really want to do in order to get something. Because you're not feeling good enough to get it in your own right or something like that. This is a kind of a feeling of, I have to do something for someone else because that's what they want of me and that'll get me paid or whatever, but not really what I want to do. Or having to do something for someone else that you don't really want to do because you can't do it for yourself. You know what I mean? You can't do the thing that you want to do yourself. There's a feeling here of I'm not good enough to do it myself, so I'll do that thing for that other person. You are good enough. Thanks, Carrie. You are good enough to get what you want. But there's a learning path here to stepping into your confidence. And I'm feeling like the things that you're doing are going to derail your confidence rather than add to your confidence. So If you're doing something for someone else that you don't really want to do, your confidence is going to slide even more. So just be careful of that. Catch this feeling of I'm not good enough and the things that you're prepared to lower yourself. Just know that that lowering of yourself will lower, 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 lower. So respect yourself, respect others, and set yourself free from that. You've got a bit of a slippery downward spiral going on here. Catch it because it will take your energy down. And this can happen when we cave into all kinds of negative kind of energies. Sometimes we don't see it as negative energy soon enough. We don't feel it taking us down, you know. Carrie, high self-guidance around love. Thanks for your donation. So every morning my lungs are clearing themselves out. It's not my lungs though. I don't feel anything deep down at all. But I was talking to my friend who had Delta yesterday. Didn't have Delta yesterday, had Delta 6 months ago. And he said, yeah, the whole coughing in the mornings, clearing it all out, lasted quite a while for him. And he showed me these drugs that he was taking, that the doctor gave him. And he said that this is what everyone that's in the hospital quarantine is on at the moment. He said he stopped taking it after he'd come back home, but then he started taking it again because it helped with that process. Anyway, I'm going without drugs. I'm doing it raw and real. Carrie, love. Carrie, forgive yourself. You're innocent. Don't take it on. If someone's blamed you for something, saying it was all your fault, you made me do that. See what you've made me do? You know when people do that. I didn't make you do anything. See how you made me feel. You made me do that. That's what I'm hearing. It's not true. Someone's passing the buck here or did in your past. And don't take it on. It wasn't you. People are responsible for their own feelings, even if they're out of control. If they're out of control and they're being battered around by everything that's going on, it's still not your fault. Still not your fault if someone is just so, yeah, out of control, unmastered, unwise. Still not your fault. Don't take it on, and that can be easy to say, really, can't it? Especially if it's a pattern from long ago. Hard not to take that stuff on. But you need to not take it on. Yeah. Putting the responsibility firmly on other people's shoulders, especially for the feelings. So you've got a transformation of a connection here that will happen through this letting go of feeling responsible for someone else's feelings. Right. So a past person made you feel responsible for their feelings by saying something like, you made me do this, or you made me feel this way, I'm only doing this because of you. You took that on a little bit too much, and it's been affecting your connections, your relationships, because it has you going into connections with this feeling of more responsibility for the relationship and how they feel than you have. So your higher self is saying that this is key to let that stuff go and go, I was never responsible for their feelings, anyone else's feelings at all, only ever responsible for my own feelings. I didn't make anyone feel anything. If they were disruptive, if they were dysregulated, that's what it is. If they were emotionally dysregulated, that's not on me. They're going to react to anything and anyone. It wasn't for me to manage it, it was for them to manage it, to learn and regulate themselves. So, yeah. Your relationships will transform when you can let go of that responsibility of how other people feel. It's not yours to take. Jessica, higher self guidance for you. Go within and healing. Delve deep. The stuff that's coming up. Go within. This is about when you feel a bit of fear, instead of the natural feeling. The natural response to that is to ignore it, to kind of not dwell on anything that makes us feel bad, to move past it, to distract ourselves as fast as we can. That's why we do things like eating. Well, we do eating for other reasons too, but things like eating and drinking and taking drugs, and what else do we do? All of those sabotages. It's like, oh, I don't like this feeling, I'm going to drink a glass of wine. We try and distract ourselves from those feelings right away. Instead of doing this, going within and feeling it, getting interested in it. Oh, what am I feeling that for? Instead of wanting to numb out from it and distract ourselves. Really delving into it. What is this? What is this feeling? Oh, that didn't feel good. What is it? Being really inquisitive like that, going within to feel what it is. And writing it down to get clarity. Wow. That stuff coming up at the moment, don't numb over it. Delve into it. Write it down. If it feels like you're on the precipice of getting it, this is what your higher self is saying. So don't avoid it now, because you could really have a major aha around this time on that if you go into it. Fantastic. You're almost ex-husband after 20 years of marriage. Okay. Did not know him. I learned my peace, but ready to leave him in the past. Yeah. Ooh. Hi, Mimi. I don't have a donation from you, Mimi. I don't see it yet anyway. Maybe PayPal's been slow. I'll check, because sometimes the emails don't come through for hours. Everyone else's did. No. Carrie and Jessica only. So let's get to the tarot then. So in the tarot here, first of all, we've got a maturity, but we've got playfulness here. The Fool card, start of a new adventure. And we've practiced to get here so that we can be more strategic now, make better decisions because we've learned from the past. And so we're going to be more strategic, more long-term. Seven of Pentacles, tending to the environment. There are going to be unknowns. There's going to be more challenges, things that we haven't been through before. But if we've done all of this stuff, if we've learned, then we've got the fundamentals of self-love. Even if we are confronted by a whole new challenge that we've not been through before, we've not experienced before, the fundamentals of the feeling it, the making a good decision for ourselves based on our feelings, the empowering ourselves, standing up for ourselves, all the basics. We can use the basics, can't we? So that's that tending the environment. It's also long term. So there's going to be new stuff that comes up, new challenges, but there's planning, strategic thinking going on here. Being more head smart about things for this new adventure. So tell us more. Crown of Earth. She seems like she's learned something. And like she's really taking it on too. crown of earth lays the earth to rest. Even the earth must regenerate. There's a time for everything in this life, including death. Something ending, huh? Time for that. Got my new nose makeup on today. Greens. It arrived yesterday. So many parcels aren't arriving at the moment. And a parcel arrived yesterday. Donna, who used to come in here. She sent it in November. It was marked in the USPS thing saying it delivered at the end of November. Right? No, it hasn't. I was lying here. They always mark things as being delivered to you when they're not. It arrived yesterday from November. Some of my liquid minerals and also my silk wash for my pillowcases, my mask, my eye mask, my silk stuff. Wheel of the Year. The Wheel of Fortune. Movement. Hi, April. Movement. Okay. So something has to end, and there's definite wisdom about that too. Not a resignation, but just a knowing that there's cycles, things must end. There's a cool, calm, collected, I know that I've got to let go now. I know that this has got to end for something new to start. Wheel of Fortune. Things getting moving. Luck. Wheel of the Year. Everything has its season. Yeah. Today we celebrate and strengthen our relationship with nature and to attune to the cycles of the divine. By participating, whether on a grand or public scale, or with a smaller personal ritual, we help turn the wheel, heal the imbalances that exist in nature due to humankind's abuse of the earth. By not participating, by not connecting with the flow of nature, we're part of the disruption. When we dig our heels in, it's interesting because it was all about endings today in the energy update, and somebody left a comment saying, I'm not letting go, or something like that. And I thought, we've all been in that energy, isn't it? Haven't we? We've all been in that energy where like, the cards are telling me to let go. There's no way I'm letting go. Not this. This is too important. And it's always when we're in that energy, that's the most important time to let go. I'm feeling like this is saying we've got that wisdom now, like we know to let go. Even though our ego goes, I'm not letting go. We get a certain wisdom where we go, I've been through this so many times. And the more I hold on and the more I cling to it, saying, damn it, no, I'm not letting go. This is too important. It's too important not to let go, right? We learn, like it always benefits us when we let go. Always, always, always. We cannot possibly go wrong by letting go. It works every single time, and we delay things moving when we don't let go. So I think this is saying that we've gained some wisdom in that letting go. The Fool, of course, it's about, jumping off the cliff. It's about taking that risk. That's a letting go. By not participating, by not connecting with the flow of nature, we're part of the disruption. So when we dig our heels in, we're part of the disruptive energies, breaking the flow, stopping the flow from happening for other people as well as ourselves. When we lend our will, our strongest form of energy, to turning the wheel, we connect with the divine in a very powerful way. Changes in the air, right? Changing fortunes, but it's about the cycles, and it's about knowing when we need to let go, when we need to quit something, give up on it, surrender, let it go, let it transmute into something else, free up that energy so that it can either move forward or move along. Oh, coffee's good. I meant to do that. Mhm. So things will move when we let something end. And endings doesn't have to be like an actual ending. It can be us letting go of the energy and trusting. Well, we're talking about Venus again. We're talking about love. We're talking about, remember, she came out on Wednesday, how attractive we are at the moment. Magnetic attraction. So we're attracting in you right now. Storyline is changing. This Five of Air is about our storyline changing. It's about timelines changing. It's about we change ourselves, we learn, we do things differently, we make new decisions, we let go, we do all of that stuff. We're going with the flow. We're responding to our guidance. Our luck changes. Things start moving, and actually our timeline changes. We change our fate because of it. Wow. Yeah, we change our fate because of it. So what seemed to be predestined before, it shifts slightly. I'm going to go again. We had some interesting cards then, but they didn't come out like that. The Elemental of Fire. It's annoying, this coffee phlegm thing in the mornings. Element of Fire brings an influx of fiery energy to the situation. It's there for you to use if you can, or to counterbalance if need be. Okay, so Venus here says very attractive right now, attracting all kinds of things, attracting everything really. Very magnetic right now. Elemental of Fire says it brings that fiery energy in, so people could be passionate about you. People could be wanting something from you, but you've got to counterbalance that. See it for what it is. It's about not saying yes to everything, this reading. It really feels like things are going to be getting moving, but it's more important than ever to be selective and to learn from what you've learned. To use that now in decision-making processes, because there's going to be a lot of passion coming your way. And if so, you could get so you're holding out. So Venus here is holding out for her Mars, for her divine counterpart, and then suddenly she gets real attractive, attracting all these suitors in, kind of thing. People, well, not really suitors, just chances, asking her out or whatever. She's got to stay strong in all of that. That's what it feels to me. Make those wise decisions. So don't falter now just because you're getting attractive. Just because the wheel is turning. Her again. Well, I guess she wants to come out. Cycle's ending. We've got to end it ourselves, not do the same things over and over again. Could be very tempting to slip backwards into old ways at the moment, but don't do it. Ten of Air, which is what is the tarot? It feels like we get that card every time now, Ten of Air. Yeah, it's the tarot card. much power and control over the situation. Things are moving in a beneficial direction. And if they're not, be assured you can easily change that. So very much we're in control now with the decisions that we make. Things are starting moving, but know that when things start moving, everything's going to start moving because you're attractive to everything right now. So things start moving, you're going to attract all kinds of random things as well as the stuff that you want. So now is the time to be really selective and not fall back in old ways, especially if old ways you've been a yes person, overly accepting of anything on everyone that's been put in front of you, like everything is a gift from the universe. It's not. Everything isn't a gift from the universe. So if you've been like that, it's time to snap out of that energy. Crone of Air. She wanted to come out before. She was one of the cards that was trying to come out before. She closes the book. There are some things that you're not meant to know at this time. For now, let it go. Some things, don't try and make sense of them, because it won't make sense. There's an element of us manifesting randomness. There's everything around us, right? There is every kind of an energy around us. And like I've said, the bigger your energy is, the higher your vibration is, the more you attract everything. It's not selective. You don't just attract better and better. You do that. You attract better and better, but you also attract worse and worse. You attract it all, much more of all. And so that's why we've got to level up. Why it works like that. You wouldn't want someone that is impressionable and naive and easily manipulated. You wouldn't want them having great big energy and attracting all kinds of things, because they're going to get themselves into trouble. Strange noise. So it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? The laws of the universe, in that you attract a whole lot more of everything once you're a higher vibration, so that you're kind of prepared for it. This is saying you're leveling up, be prepared for it. Don't fall back into old ways. You're more attractive than you were before because of your energy. And don't try and make sense of this stuff to cut out. Just cut it out. Just say no to it. Hey, Sherry. What else? Tell us about this fool's journey then. What are we headed into? 10 of Wands. She's got keys, she's got a handbag, she's got a suit on, she's got a lot of burdens. Someone told me, this was years and years ago, the more keys that you own, the more burdens you have. The more keys you own, the more burdensome your life is. But that was someone who's living in Johannesburg, South Africa, which is it's one of the most dangerous places on earth, isn't it? Isn't it murder capital or something like that? It was pretty extreme when I was there visiting him. Everything is under barbed wire and locks and locks and locks. So that's the reason I mention it, is that they have more keys than anybody. Driving with a gun behind his back. You know, I would set off just to go anywhere and put the gun here. Just a very extremely scary kind of a place. Anyway, so that might have affected him saying that, but I'm just getting that from this picture here, and she's got the keys there. She's kind of burdened. 10 of Wands. Feeling responsibility for stuff. It's easy to assume what success looks like. Our expectations shape so many of our actions. There are times when we'll have a lot to carry and simply must do it. But sometimes we should ask the question, do I really need to carry all of this right now? Just to make sure. So maybe we've got burdens and responsibilities that we don't actually need to take with us now. Interesting, right? Because who was I saying that with in a mini just then? The burdens of other people's feelings. No. They're dysregulated, that's up to them. Just because we trigger them doesn't mean it's our responsibility. Isn't that the way? There's like so many triggered, sensitive people, unhealed people around that are really voicing it as if it's the rest of the world that have got to stop triggering them. It's like, no, that's your responsibility. You're the sensitive one. You're the one that's triggered. Your feelings are your own. Stop trying to put it on everyone else. It's not up to the whole world to stop triggering you. It's up to you to start regulating yourself and healing yourself. And I'm not saying it's easy, but it's still a responsibility. Not anyone else's responsibility. There's a whole lot of that virtue signaling and I'm triggered and it's everyone else's fault. And if the world could just change, then I'll be okay. There's a lot of wounded people in that energy right now. The Ten of Swords. Wow, tens. Ten of Swords. Yeah, my voice is much better now. Felt different this morning when I woke up. Felt much better. I didn't think I was even going to have the coughing thing, but that happened later. Good to get back training again. I was little bit, is this going to send me backwards, kind of? I was a bit, because I've been doing strength training, a lot of it, the last 6 days here, but no cardio, it's high intensity when I'm doing my boxing, so. But no, I just felt good. Just felt really good. And it was busy too, which was cool to see. With tourists. I know with locals, because many of the locals are in quarantine right now. A kid that I train with, half Thai, half Japanese. He had it exactly the same time as me. He'd just yesterday come out of his 10-day quarantine too. Him and his mum had it at the same time as me. Got a lot of us. Anyway, Ten of Swords. Thanks for asking, April. Ten of Swords, 2 tens. Endings. No wonder we've got the Fool out. We're happy when the phlegm thing stops. Our thoughts become reality. Dwelling too much on the past or hoping for things that cannot be prevents a healthy life from unfolding. This woman is ready to put an end to the old thought patterns and unrealistic expectations. This woman is ready to put an end to the old thought patterns. This woman is ready to put an end to old thought patterns and unrealistic expectations. By doing so, she prepares herself for new ways of thinking, accepting and releasing unpleasant or unfortunate circumstances. Definite need for us to let go at the moment and be ready for what's next, knowing that we have learned so much, can put things behind us. 2 tens. So today's day 12 for me. Did 10 days of quarantine. I don't believe there's many people. Well, there's not many people that live alone here. I'm one of the few. Thailand is not a country where you live alone. You live with people. I'm one of the few people that live alone. So there's very few people that do the quarantine just at home like I've done, drug-free, without the doctors. But it suits me better. I'd be able to take care of myself properly if I'd gone into quarantine in a hotel room with none of my stuff. Like I said to my friend, she was going into hospital to go into a resort room quarantine thing. I said, She said it's free for her. She's got the insurance and everything. I'm like, it doesn't matter whether it's free or not. Even if they paid me, I wouldn't go and do it. I wouldn't want to put myself in that situation. I wouldn't go to hospital if they paid me to do something like that. I'm much more able to take care of myself here in my home. Much more likely to take care of myself properly. But then I take care of my health to a higher level than they ever would in a hospital. They've got much lower standards than I have for health. Much lower standards. I'm not saying that I would never go to hospital. Of course, if I was sick, if there's something that I couldn't handle, absolutely. But this isn't something that I can't handle. Hello, Hope. 8 of Wands. Very powerful card. 8 of Wands usually is about communication. It's about forward movement. Here, it's the woman here has created a circle and called the god and goddess to the quarters and the quarters. She's raised the energy. Yes, she has. She's raised the energy of herself. She has the skill and experience to direct it. It's what I was just saying before. The laws of the universe are good. It doesn't let us get to this point of raising our energy and being very attractive until we've learned. So it's part of the perfection of it is that we need to learn those things, self-love, the empowerment and all of that to raise our energy. Yes, she's raised the energy. She has the skill and experience to direct it. All of this is second nature to her. Oh, she's had so much practice at it. She's able to do it so quickly, so effortlessly, she makes it look easy. Is what I've just been saying. When things get moving, and because your energy is higher, but your wisdom's higher, so it's easy. It's easy to do the self-loving thing. It's easy to make a good decision for yourself. It's easy to say no. It's just right there because you've practiced it so much. It's an easy no, or it's an easy I'll let that one go. It's an easy swift control movement bringing in the desired result. You know what to do. Wow, so this is really good. This is our guides telling us that we've learned and we're ready. We're ready for this new journey. There's another 10. Wow. Knave of Chalices. The Knave is the page, I think. Yes, it's the page. The Page of Cups explores his intuition and dreams. Reversed, overly sensitive. So some kind of an intuition about love. Maybe dreams too. I had a dream last night. A friend of mine is opening a new gym right now on the next island. The one that owns the gym here, in fact. I had a dream about him. 8 of Chalices. Which would usually be the walking away energy, but this deck is kind of random. No matter how carefully we choose our path and select a project to pursue, sometimes we make mistakes. When we realize we've made a bad decision or a good decision that no longer serves our highest good, so a good decision, but it is only applied to the past, then we, like this woman, should let it go and begin anew. Yes, leaving something behind to start something else. Reversed, it's about clinging to something that's no longer useful. So let's not do that. Letting go, letting go. Coronavirus said that. Energy update today said that. We've got to let go, we've got to let go. And 10 of Pentacles. Another 10. 3 10s out now. 10 of Pentacles is the happily ever after. Let's read it out because To me, it's the happily ever after, but it's the concrete stuff. You know, it's the house, the partnership, the family gathers in celebration. Generations represent the cycles of life and connections between people through time. The older generation care for the homes and taught the younger. The younger, in their turn, will continue the traditions and care for the elders. A stable and abundant life. Yeah, it's a stable and abundant life. Wow. What about the other 10? We don't have the 10 of cups out yet. We've got the Ace of Swords. The lightsaber. No. Looks more like a dagger, but it looks like a lightsaber. Ace of Swords. More new energy. But it's true to us, or is it? We get to decide that. To accept it or not. Turn it down. Where's the swords? Here. Hello, Akanksha. Ace of Swords. This blade can cut through the superfluous or unnecessary energy. Once everything that's not needed or is not the truth of that situation is eliminated, then the truth of the matter can be seen. A new approach or solution to a problem. So more cutting away, more letting go, more surrender. The way to what it is that we want is through letting go of everything that isn't that. So much letting go in this reading. And good reason to do it. Okay. April, thanks for your donation. Anyone that wants a mini read, just check out the pinned comment, the comment that's pinned up top of the live chat. It tells you how to do it. It's by donation. There's a PayPal link in there for the donations. If you've got a question for your higher self, put a capital Q at the start of your comment so I can find it, but only do that after you've done the donation. Otherwise, it gets complicated. I'm going to try and find donations that aren't even there. Okay, April, thanks for your donations. Your assistant Sarah is entering a transitional time with a long-term, long-distance boyfriend. She desires to be with him full-time, and that will require her to move. Of course, I support her. Sad to see her go, but I want the best for her. There's uncertainty in this area. What do I need to know about her situation, how to prepare for her to go, if that's what happens? Oh. I paused in that because it seemed familiar. Did I preempt this in one of your readings? That energy felt familiar to me for some reason. Tell us about Sarah. Connection, I'm good enough. Hang on. Warmth, make love. Okay. Good things about Sarah. This is saying that you can attract someone else, another connection. What are the good things about Sarah? Something about really enjoying what she does. Maybe being a bit niched in that, really enjoying what she does, and because of that, an open-heartedness that everyone responds to. So you can just tell, hey, when you walk in a place, if there's someone behind that desk or that till or whatever, you walk into a place, if they've got that energy, it's just magnetic, and it's really good for business. Really good for business. I do this for other people's businesses too. People always say that. when you're in, it gets so busy in here, Claire. I'm like, I've got really attractive energy for this same reason. So all the good things about Sarah, notice those and ask for that. Recognize that. That's who you're looking for. Someone that's got that same magnetic kind of a welcoming kind of a vibe. Doesn't matter what they say, right? What's on the CV and all of that. It's the vibe that's attractive or not. Anyway, this is saying like, you're good enough. But don't focus on how will I ever possibly get that 1 in a million kind of thing. Focus on that was great, that was great, that was great, that was great. You can attract more of that stuff. You've already attracted her. You can attract more of that. So your question, how to prepare for her to go, is just notice all those good things about her and know that your vibe is attracting that, and you'll attract even more of that. So it can be a spiral upwards. This, I feel like you're going to get someone else similar, better. How long will it take for my business to transition to the new location? Same building. Hoping to sign the lease next week. Feels good. Then the construction build out can begin. It feels good. How long? I'll ask for the timing after. Let's get some cards out first. Include strength and courage. Inclusive. The building. This seems really familiar as well. I'm sure I've talked to you about this already. Something about the building, the people that are in it. I'm sure I've told you this before. I'm trying to think of what I said before. I'm so sure of it that this is really familiar energy. Something about the building and the people that are in it, about being included in that. Are they social at all the other businesses in there? They've got a get together thing? It feels like who you know in there can make it go really smoothly. Can you remember what I said to you before about this? It seems really familiar because I got a picture of it, and it's the same picture I got last time I did a reading for you on this. People's strengths. There's a definite community feel around that building. Yeah. And it's a good time to get in with people. Intimacy and healing, to get in with them, especially if there has been some contention. I don't know who was in that space before. Other people in the building had a problem with them or something like that. It's a good time to get in with the people that are around there. Anyway, I had a good feeling about that signing the lease. The transition. Give us a timing for the transition. You got a 4 there, but it's the female emperor. 4 or 5. The female emperor. So you taking charge, taking control of this. With people doing stuff for you. You're taking the lead there. You've got them all on leads, doing the stuff that you want them to do. It's good. 4 or 5, what's that, 4 or 5 months? The transition, I think that's what it's saying. 4 or 5 months. But there's some definite guidance there about the community that are in that building. something social, or just, it's not like preempting problems. It's different than that. It's just about being inclusive, being a part of that, of the people that are there. Feels like boys' club kind of a kind of a feeling. It's not boys, but you know, that sort of thing. I think the people in there might be expecting more of the same energy of people that were in there before, and so they might treat you a certain kind of way because of that. Sherry, thanks for your donation. High self guidance for you, Sherry. Up until now, quite a gentle heart, I am now. So something in the past that you didn't want to be, I mean, judging yourself for it, and you've got to be okay about that. Up until now is the past. You know, we are most triggered by stuff that we are, or stuff that we've been ourselves. So, like when people stop smoking and then they become like the biggest pains in the asses about people smoking, that's because they're still judging themselves about having smoked, right? And so they get all judgy about everyone else that's smoking. Like, if you lied a lot in your childhood, you could be really hypersensitive to people lying to you and really fly off the handle with that. Stuff that we are is what we react to most. We react even more when we've let something go, but we've not let it go completely. So we've let something go, we've stopped doing something, but just because we judged ourselves so much for it, and it's like, oh God, I'm so embarrassed that I did that. I'm never going to do that again. But there's still that judgmental aspect. So at the moment you're letting go of something like that, you're letting go of something, stopping doing something, but you haven't yet let go of the judgment of you having done that before. And it will come up over and over again. You'll see it in other people over and over again. Because in your mind, you're still judging yourself about it. You're still, I am that, I was that. Oh no, I'm so ashamed by that. I think those people are terrible because they are that. It's projection. It's something we all go through. When we level up, when we realize things, because we want to do that, right? We want to wake up to ourselves. We want to progress. And unfortunately, that happens through this process of realizing, oh God, I did that. That's so embarrassing. I'm not going to do that anymore. Mm-hmm. Then you need to get to that point where you've got a gentle, quieted heart about it, where you're cool that you had that because you're a human. And then you're cool that other people have that as well because they haven't learned yet what you learned. Mirror reflection, yeah. Mirror reflections, projections. Be firmer, it's about you, it's not about them. You don't want the rest of the world to stop that thing. You want them to have it so that they will learn from it too, just like you did. It's okay for us to not know things, to be in that process of learning, and then to have learned it too. Just because you've learned something doesn't mean that the whole world should have learned it before you or at the same time as you. And that thing should be eradicated from the world. Again, when we've got that stance, it's because we think it should be eradicated from us and we can feel that it's not quite eradicated from us yet. You're in the process of letting go at a very deep level of something. Hope that helps. It can be tricky. It can be tricky that stage. It can be tricky to own up to that whole triggered thing, people triggering you. It's never about them though, just mirror reflections. And there you go. Now what else can we do? Thanks for donations. Any questions? Anyone else want a mini read? Get them in soon because I'm going to be finishing up soon. Oh, I didn't do the, well, let's do this. I didn't do these. I didn't do the Lenormand today. Let's do it all over the top of these then. We've obviously got change coming in. We've got a lot of letting go to do, ready for this new journey, but it's telling us that we are ready. We've learned. We're ready. Got the heart coming out. This is about love, is it? And abundance. Nice. Plenty more fish in the sea, huh? Could be about letting go of a particular person. And the tree. What's the tree? Is that about like family and stuff? I can never remember. The garden's about community. Yeah. Garden's about community. The tree is about health, vitality, well-being, stewardship, ecology, fertility. The tree teaches us that actions we take today and the choices we make have long-term ramifications. When we nurture ourselves and deepen our relationships, the benefits will be widespread. It refers to longevity, stability, life cycles, really healthy something. You know, like I was saying with this lady here that's got the apple, and people saying to her, oh, you're so lucky. How did you chance upon the apple? And she says, I didn't. I planted the tree years ago and I nurtured it. And I've been tending to it every single day. Where have you been and what have you been doing? Oh, you've been law of attractioning and just waiting for something to show up, have you? No, I've been tending to this tree. So, the affairs of the heart, there's plenty more fish in the sea. There's an abundance of people. So why not let go of that particular person that you thought it might come through? Why not? Tend to your environment, which is you, yourself, the lessons that you've learned, so that when someone shows up, next person, plenty more fish in the sea, you get to decide. Remember how attractive we are right now, says Venus. There could be all kinds of things coming towards you. Plenty, plenty, plenty of love offers coming towards you. But use what you've learned to discern and make really good decisions for yourself. What else? Snake. Stars. And house. Treachery, deception, charm, threat, blindsided envy, intrusion, ambition. Don't be dazzled and taken in by someone who seems charming but probably has his own agenda. When the snake card appears, make sure you keep your eyes open and see the situation for what it really is. Don't believe the bullshit. Oh dear. Bullshit heart stuff. I love you. Really? What kind of love is that? Someone got a private reading from me yesterday, and the first question for it, a guidance reading, first question was, does he love me? And I got a yes for it. But then I pulled all the cards out, and it was pretty much sex and attraction. It's like, yes, but their idea of love is very low-level idea of love. It's what you can do for them. It's how you make them feel. It's nothing beyond that. It's not about loving you. There's like, does someone love me? Well, yes, but what's love to them? I'm getting that same thing from that. Be careful of believing people, especially because if someone has only ever experienced a low level of love like that, of I'm attracted to you, I like what you do, I like how you make me feel, I want to be with you, I love you. It's true what they're saying, they do love you, but they've got a very low level of love. Careful of that. Stars. For my part, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of stars makes me dream, says Vincent van Gogh. Inspiration, guidance, illumination, optimism, abundance. If you've not even dared to believe in happy endings, this card encourages you to explore new paths, trusting that fate has amazing things in store for you. There's abundance beyond your wildest dreams out there. Reach for the stars. Oh yeah, don't believe their bullshit, especially around love. It's all based on people's experiences, isn't it? How much has someone experienced love? How far have they gone down that path? Have they really loved someone else? It's like someone could say that they're interested in something, but how interested in it are they? Are they really interested in it? Like, have they really got a passion for it? Are they doing it? Are they showing that? Are they doing it every single day? Are they really pouring their passion into that? I just got this vision of someone saying, like, you know how through this pandemic there's been a lot of it. People say on Facebook, poo-pooing everything that governments have done and people have done as if they know better, as if they would have done better. And it's like, well, if you'd done better, if you were really interested in that and you were actually an expert in it, you would be doing that. If you think that you do better, but you're not involved in that, you're not in that position, that role, actually doing stuff about it, then you don't know better because you're not a master of that. Otherwise, you'd actually be doing it. Just be careful of that. There's this thing of people naively, it's not maliciously, like a snake. Well, snakes aren't malicious either. They're just a snake, right? Declaring something, but it's not this. It's not you. If you had said that same thing, like "I love you" or "I'm interested in this" or "I've got a passion for this," you're operating on a whole new level. So be careful of the projection of, if I said that, I would mean this, because it's not necessarily true for that person. They may have much, and I think this is saying that they've got a much lower level of experience and therefore the energy that they're holding. And house. House is not a home unless it contains food and fire for the mind as well as the body, Benjamin Franklin says. Security, stability, comfort, structure, welcome. The house in Lenormand is a card representing your house, your home, that place that means security and stability. It's a warm, safe place, a source of comfort and contentment. Oh, that reminds me. They stole my pillows. I like low profile pillows. In fact, I could sleep without a pillow. I like them to be really low. They switched my good pillows out that I collected from like in the last 6 years from the rooms that I've stayed in here, the lowest ones. They switched them out for these big, lumpy, like massive. You should see it. It's over there and it's like this high. I cannot sleep on it. It's hurting my neck. So I ordered some low. I can't believe they did that. They stole my good pillows and gave me crappy ones. So it's not, my home is not a place, a source of comfort at the moment and contentment, because they switched my pillows out. Probably, I think they did it because I had COVID. I don't know what they're going to do to those poor pillows. Anyway, I've ordered some more. My own pillows. In this card, we see smoke rising up from the chimney, suggesting that someone is home tending to the hearth, providing a warm welcome to family or visitors. Just as the house is the structure that protects you. Just as the house is the structure that protects you. It means that you need structure and boundaries in other areas of your life as well. The con artist that was staying next door, not chicken, she's eating some biscuits at the window now. He moved out. He's moved out. He disappeared over the last few days. There was people trying to find him. Dodgy ass. He's gone now anyway. They cleaned up the room yesterday. More and more security. So we've got the snake, the stars. Even if someone's saying something that you wish for, it's not the security. Just be careful. It might not be anyway. You've got to get clear. Like, what do you mean by that? You love me. What does that actually mean to you? And if someone's got a low level of love, they're not even going to be able, they've got a low level of self-awareness. They're not going to be able to even voice that to you. And then let that be your warning. Yeah, if they can't voice it to you, they've got a low level of everything. Okay. Bear, protection. Protect yourself, maybe. Stork, you got something new starting. Birth of something new. Yes. I love these cards. They just give that extra bit of stuff. Burdens, the cross, carrying the cross. Ooh. Okay, so protect yourself. Something new starting. Protect the new thing that's starting. Don't just go willy-nilly into anything. Especially don't be of that energy of, I'm just open and saying yes to everything. Everything and everyone is a gift from the universe for me just to say yes to it. Don't do that. Otherwise, you're going to have these burdens to carry. Protect yourself. Okay, so if we read this downwards, we've got heart, snake, protect yourself. So there is bullshit going on here. It's not bullshit, it's true to them, but it's true to them at their level. And so you could be attracting people giving you love offers, and yeah, just protect yourself there. Make sure that you know what it is they're actually communicating to you. We need different words for love, really. There's lots of different types. It would be good if people knew that and could give us clarity on it. Like, what are you actually feeling when you say that? Is it about how I make you feel? Is it about how you feel about me? Do you want to do things for me, or do you like what I do for you? Like, two very different things, right? Then we've got abundance, the stars, and the stork. Excellent. So there's a lot of opportunity coming to fulfill your dreams. So reach high. Things are starting. Yes. Cool. A new adventure. The tree. Tending to the environment for the long term, especially around your security. Don't want to take anyone's burdens on here. Your own security, your house, your home, protecting that. Or making decisions for the long term to tend to that environment. So continue with your self-love and definitely don't take other people's burdens on. Now, reading it diagonally, we've got concerns of the heart here about your wishes reaching very high standards, high expectations. That could be a burden to some. So you might be seeing that, taking that in a burdensome way. As in, I've got all these high expectations, nobody lives up to it. I'll always be alone because nobody can live up to that. Be careful of that line of thinking. We also have doing things for the long term, tending to the environment, especially for these high wishes that you've got, protecting that, yeah, being protective of it, so that every decision that you make, you turn into that environment for those bigger dreams. So that's 8 of Wands kind of an energy. I know what my goal is. I'm going to say no to everything that isn't that. I'm going to get clear on it. If they're not being clear about it, I'm not just going to presume because the words that are coming out of their mouth is a match to what it is that I want. If I were to say it, I'm not going to presume that when they say it is actually a match to the energy. So about getting very energetically clear here, especially when other people are involved, because there's a lot of people involved here. Got to make decisions for the long term and for what it is that you truly, truly want. Because it might appear that people are trying to fool you, but they're not. They're just speaking and experiencing life from their level. It's not vindictive. A snake's going to be a snake. There's that parable, isn't there? Is it a parable? Would I call it a parable or a story of the... Is it a snake? Or a crocodile? So there's all of these animals, they want to get across this river, and the crocodile says, hop on my back, I'll take you across. And they're like, oh hell no, you're a crocodile. You're going to eat me. It's like, I won't eat you. Get on my back, I can swim really easy along there. And all the animals, in the end, they get on this crocodile's back. Crocodile takes them and then throws them up in the air and eats them. And they're like, ah, it's like, well, I'm a crocodile. It's not a vindictive thing. Snakes aren't doing whatever snakes do because they're evil or because they're vindictive. They're just doing it because they are that. So this is a warning too, not to... It's saying people are going to be people. And just because we misconstrue what it is that they're saying doesn't make them bad. They're just being themselves. It makes us naive for not delving deep enough and getting clarity on what is actually in their energy. It's taking people on face level when we shouldn't do that. It's presuming that everyone is like us and everyone's got the same perceptions as us and the same feelings as us because they've been through exactly the same thing as us, or they should have been through the same things as us, and they haven't. I've got a feeling that this is how we let unloving, less than love, less than we want in, because we take people at surface level. Let's say something like, I love you. And then we're like, okay, yeah. Well, then you definitely love me at the highest level then. And it's not true. Levels of love, huh? How interesting. I think it is anyway. So there we go, there we have it. That's the guidance for today. Definitely got something new starting, but watch out because there's going to be all kinds of things coming your way. And it's time to be really mature about it, coming of age. And not just go willy-nilly into everything, accepting things on face value, presuming people to be just like you, but actually getting to the bottom of it. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I have a lot of people, like, you wouldn't believe how many times I get called beautiful every single day. I get called beautiful so much. It's kind of nice. But I also get called hot as well, which isn't so nice. And people might say that they love me. They don't say that. I try not to say that. But maybe if people say that they love me, what does that actually mean? I've been in relationships with people that wouldn't do a thing for me. But they say that they love me, but they're not actually loving me. And why is that? Because I've taken them at face value. Then there's people that don't say that they love me, but they actually do, and they do a lot for me, and they really take care of me. They show that love. I can tell that they love me because they are actually loving me. They don't need to say it. I think that whole I love you thing is can be a manipulation sometimes to get what people want from you. Watch out for that. Gotta let people prove it, that they're actually loving you. The love being a verb, the actions of loving a person and what you do there, what they would do. Levels of love. Anyway, there we go. There we have it. Thanks everyone for coming along. Let's do this all over again on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. I will be making a pick a card read today. Not sure what yet. I'm going to find out very soon. And I'll be putting that out later. And of course, my private readings are available. Not that we've got, what have we got coming up? What day is it today? Oh, it's the 25th. It's my youngest son's birthday today. It's 22 today. No, new moon is a week off yet. Well, 6 days off. Anyway, private readings are available from our website, behealing.com. Come along to our Facebook group there. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you all